Welcome to the Wonder With Me podcast, where I, Dr. Tonia Winchester, invite you to get curious with me about all things mind-body healing, especially how we can unlock the incredible healing power of our unconscious minds, so that we can all get out of stress mode and go back into healing mode. We'll talk about how you can easily create healthy, sustainable self-care habits so that you can calm your mind, sleep deeply, wake rested, and enjoy happy, energized days. Ultimately, so that you can make a bigger difference in your well-being and that of your family and the world around you. These casual chats are for educational purposes only and don't constitute a therapeutic relationship. With all that said, let's get this episode underway. Come wonder with me. Hello! Welcome back to the Wonder With Me podcast. I am your hostess, doctor and our coach, Tonia Winchester. This is season 1, episode number 19. It's called The Energy Drain That You're Not Aware of. I'm wondering if you ever feel tired, but you're not sure why. Now, of course, there are a lot of things going on under the surface, biochemically, physically, emotionally, mentally, when it comes to fatigue. In today's episode, though, we're going to touch on one of the mental ways that your system can be draining energy from you. I tell a story. Of course, you know I love my stories. I tell a story of a treacherous, no, it wasn't really that treacherous, this path of discovery that led me to have an energy drain inside my unconscious mind for 3 whole years. There is a little picture story that goes along with this episode, so I'm going to link in the show notes to that place where you can read this as well as see the images and watch a little video. So I hope you enjoy this episode where we get to wonder how we can release energy drains from our unconscious mind. With that said, you know what's coming next. Let's get into it. Let's get wondering. Have you ever had an idea that just sits there in the back of your mind, but you never take action on it? You never check it off the list? These could be big life event things or small, consistent, nourishing things. And you just let them linger there in specific corners of your mind. I call these open loops. And frankly, you may agree with me that they are exhausting. They require that your unconscious mind spends precious, vital resources to keep those ideas alive inside, even though, in a way, you're letting them die. During the first summer of COVID 2020, when the only people I could see were the trees in my local provincial park, after they reopened the parks, that is, I spent many hours exploring my way through a series of parks and neighborhoods, often Tanya deep in Salal or ferns. Oh, I should mention, if you are listening to this, if you head over to the post where this is actually posted, you'll find pictures that go along with different stages of this story as I go along. coach.toniawinchester.com/posts. I was convinced that there was a way to get from my house to a local beach through the woods. And eventually, after many, many failed attempts, and with the help of some quote-unquote random coincidences, I unearthed my route. I was like Nancy Drew in the Forest of Secrets that summer. Sometimes I would stumble across some very helpful clues, like this tiny little wooden arrow screwed into a tree, or this sign that was just floating there in the air that said trail with an arrow. At some point that summer, I realized something magical about taking photos. The precise location that the photo was taken at could be put on a map on my phone. So I started to learn where I'd been and could start to get a sense of where I was trying to get to. Sometimes I had hints from neighbors, like, there's that path that connects those 2 roads, right? You don't say. Once, incredibly, I asked an app to chuck me out a random GPS coordinate. This is no joke. While the first 2 sets it gave me were in the middle of 2 different private fields, I hit the jackpot with the 3rd set of coordinates. It turned out to be the trailhead to the 7th section in my route, which I'll list for you in just a second here. It was the last leg of the journey that I needed to piece it all together. The entire route is about 6.5 kilometers, and it usually takes me about 75 minutes or so. It has 7 sections. Section number 1 is a road in a rural neighborhood where I live. Section number 2 is a little private path that connects to rural roads. Number 3 is a park owned by one municipality. Number 4 is a provincial park, in fact, an ecological reserve. Number 5 is another park owned by a different municipality. Number 6 is another rural road. And number 7 is a private path owned by a local resort. It took me about 6 weeks to figure out how all these sections were connected. If you head back to that actual website, you can see some of the pictures of the gorgeous things that I came across that summer. In a way, this post isn't actually about this story. I mean, there are many metaphors that one might glean from this story, including finding your path, perseverance, the benefit of having goals, being resourceful, AF, by the way, I might add. But I'm really sharing this story because of one of the pictures I took that summer. This brings us back to how I opened up this article. Open loops. The picture that I'm talking about is this bluff overlooking a clear-cut area that is sort of adjacent to the forest that I normally walk in. Now, it's hard to find a nice sunset spot where I live because I reside on the east coast of a large island. And I know you know that east means sunrise, west means sunset. I could travel 4 hours to catch the sunset on the westmost coast of the island, but as I'm sure you can imagine, that's not the most practical day-to-day experience. I had this feeling when I found this little bluff overlooking this clear-cut area that it would be a lovely place to see a summer sunset. I opened up a loop in my mind when I had that idea. And then I did nothing about that loop for 3 years. It remained open, taking up unconscious energy and resources in my mind. Here's what I mean. Every time, and this is about 2 to 3 times per week that I'm strolling through here, I would pass the little path that leads to those bluffs, and I would think, oh, it would be such a nice spot to catch a summer sunset. And then I would do nothing about it again and again, 2 to 3 times a week for 3 years. That's at least 390 times I had that thought and did nothing about it. Until this week. My husband and I went out in the evening to run an errand, and as we were driving back, I noticed the time of day. It was 8:30 or so, and I told him I was going to drop him off and drive on our rural road, that's number 1, to the start of that first path, number 2, in what I just listed before. He parked in our driveway. We both got out of the car and kissed each other goodnight. I got into the driver's seat. The driver's seat of closing this open loop. I drove along number 1. I walked number 2 and number 3. And I walked part of number 4 until I got to the little trailhead leading to the bluffs. And when I got there, it was like the sun saw me coming and ducked down behind the horizon line, as if he was hiding from me personally. It was 8:45 and I just missed it. But at least now I had some information. I had to get there earlier. Now I knew exactly what I needed to do. More importantly, I knew exactly when I needed to do it. 2 days later, I made a plan for when it worked out in my evening schedule. Between dance practice, dance rehearsal, dance planning, dance teaching, I don't have many evenings free. This is an interruption. I don't know why it sounds like there's so much disdain in my voice when I'm describing my evenings of dance. I love dance. Y'all know I love my dance. And maybe in this instance, because I really wanted to catch that summer sunset, that I felt a little disdain towards my booked evenings. But I assure you, there is zero resentment, obligation, I've got to go dance energy in my normal mentality. Back to our regular programming. But there was one coming up. I set out at 8 p.m. My husband asked, "What time is the sunset?" I checked the weather app, 9:15. "Oh, you're going early." "Well, it's going to be down earlier from the bluffs, and I got to get there. I don't want to miss it." I mean, I had, after all, been missing it for 3 years. So off I went. I drove number 1, walked number 2 and number 3, walked part of number 4 until I got to the little trailhead to the bluffs. And this time, I enjoyed a lovely evening, doing some journaling, some stretching, and just some sun gazing. There's a little video for you to watch. As the sun closed its loop for the day, I officially closed mine too. I could check it off the list, but the part of me that tried to remind me about this 390 times at least, to bed. I'll go back there. Now that I know the hows, the whens. Importantly, I know that I've regained real estate in my nervous system now that I'm no longer wondering. I'm laughing because, funnily, Google Docs wanted me to correct that to wandering. Sure, it's kind of the same here in this instance, isn't it? So what's the point of this story? Well, I'm curious. What open loops are taking up space and energy in your unconscious mind? What's on your bucket list? Things you want to begin, things you want to end. How long have you been letting these things sit there? Are you taking any steps to make those things happen in your life? Maybe it's a new lifestyle habit that you know will help you reach a specific health outcome. Maybe it's getting help for that new habit. Wink, wink. Maybe it's wanting to change how you are in your relationships, how you're triggered, how you heal. Maybe it's an adventure you're biting to have, a class you want to take, something you want to learn, a book you want to write. When we have these things that we want to be doing and we're not doing them, it's often because we're waiting for more clarity so we can have the confidence that it's the right thing to do. We're waiting for more information. We're waiting for a feeling. We're waiting for the time to be right. We're waiting for, wait, what are we waiting for? The truth is, I never would have gotten to see that beautiful sunset if I hadn't made a commitment to just do the darn thing. My sunset chasing story is such a small example, but I'm hoping that you're seeing how it's a relevant lesson to the big things in your life that you want to accomplish or put to bed. Internet personality Marie Forleo always says, clarity comes from engagement, not thought. We can't think our way forward. We have to take a step. Even if it's not the right step because it doesn't get you what you want, at least now you know. Now you know what next step you'll need to take. And by this logic, every step is the right step, as long as you're paying attention to the feedback that you're getting when you take that step. My first attempt at catching this summer sunset, well, my timing was off. But then I knew how and when I needed to adjust my strategy so I could catch it. And it worked like a charm. Sign up for the class. Go to the first one. Like it? Great. Go to the second one. Sign up for the class. Go to the first one. Don't like it? Great. Find a different one. Start the habit. Uncomfortable? Yes. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. You're practicing a new way of being that is out of your comfort zone. Eventually, as that practice is habitualized and you start to get the results that you've been wanting for so long, you'll move into comfort with it. Set the boundary. It's probably going to be easier than you think, than you've built up in your mind. People respond well to honesty. And yes, I'm all about divine timing. And I'm also wondering if there's a place where we can all be a little more proactive when it comes to getting what we want. Take a step in a direction. Get feedback, get learnings, course correct if need be. Take another step, get feedback, get learnings, course correct if need be. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Just get going. Your loops will remain open otherwise and will remain an energy drain on your nervous system. Close them just by taking a step. I mean, what are the consequences if you don't? Obviously, there's no massive consequence to not catching a summer sunset, other than I kept breaking a promise to myself. But what about more serious things like getting hydrated, nourishing yourself with healthy, low-reactive foods, moving your body effectively, sleeping deeply, pursuing your dreams, expressing your love or your disgust or your truth? In some cases, not making changes, keeping these open loops as a someday thing could be harmful to and dangerous to you and your well-being. And what about regret? A 57-year-old friend of mine told me he wanted to start playing the piano. Cool, I said. I'm the ever cheerleader. People doing what they love makes me very happy. But if I start now, it's going to be 5 years of practice before I'm any good. So then I'll be 62. Truth. And whether you start now or not, you'll still be 62. And I think I saw a little bit of smoke come out of his ears as his mind was blown. I know you get me. I'll wrap up there with that mic drop. And if you're needing any support to help you prioritize which of your open loops are really worthwhile closing or need to be put to bed, or to be entirely meta and that one of your open loops is to have me guide you through a brain-based coaching transformation breakthrough. Maybe it's been on your mind for some time, where you'll be able to release the painful imprints of your past, closing open pain, trauma, emotional loops, and allowing your body to go back into healing mode, easily able to create new habits and positive results in your health and your life. Then, here's your call to action, people. Book a discovery call with me or my team. We'll spend 30 minutes helping you get very clear on what loops you're wanting to close and where you're wanting to go. If it's a match, I might then invite you to enroll in a breakthrough, and I'll provide the easiest way to do that when we chat. So you can book your call at coach.toniawinchester.com/hello. I look forward to connecting. Thank you so much for listening. May you choose to allow all your dreams to come true. Hey, thanks for wondering with me today. If you've got something good out of this, then please forward this episode along to the people who you know could benefit. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're really keen, you leaving us a rating and review helps us to help more people, so thank you in advance for that. If you're wanting more insights about how you can leverage the power of your unconscious mind to go back into healing mode, head on over to toniawinchester.com, where you'll find my book, Breakthrough the Insomnia Cycle, and other helpful ideas. Thanks again, and we'll connect on the next episode of the Wonder With Me podcast. In the meantime, may you choose to make all of your dreams come true.